Hello there and welcome. This is a program specially designed for one of us who has just left for the life beyond. I'm sure you must have heard it, that somebody so big, a brilliant guy, has passed on. His name is Otunba Dr. Oladapo Oshun-Williams. With me in the studio, I have a very gentleman who is still mourning, but out of no time, he has decided to say a word or two about his brother, his friend, his pal. You know, the camaraderie has gone beyond friendship. I would not say more. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you, Kabisi.
Could you kindly tell us who you are?
My name is Wale Kalejaiye. I am the chairman, Board of Trustees, Nigeria Think Tank.
Fantastic. How did you know the late Otunba Dr. Oladapo Williams?
Interesting. I met Dr. Dapo Williams over 20 years ago through a mutual friend. And the moment we actually met, the fire just got burning and we bonded instantly. And we had a hug that evening and he said, "You are my brother from another mother."
Oh, wow.
And that phrase stuck ever since. And we are actually referred to as my brother from another mother. And that has been the slogan.
So it's been sort of friendship at first sight.
Oh yes,
And
it's
clicked,
yes.
And
You know, it just went like that.
wow. How long ago was this?
I think it's about 20 years ago.
20 odd years, more than 20 years ago.
Yes.
Wow. I understand. Where do you live actually? You're all over the place.
Well, I live in Nigeria,
Mm.
and I also partly reside here, but in between. I spent 2 months on, 3 months off, sort of arrangement, but regularly around.
Is that for business or family ties? I mean, I'm
Both
digressing.
business and family ties. Yes.
Ah, fantastic. Tell us. And then the friendship blew out of proportion. Let me use those phrases.
Oh yes.
That
I mean,
phrase.
people would think that I've known him for all my life, but no, just 20 years. But relationship transcended into what I would call brotherhood.
So you never knew from Nigeria?
No, we actually met here.
Wow.
You know, we met here and then it went on like that.
So what made both of you tick? What brought that magnetic, thing?
Well, yeah, thank you, Prince Adegun. You see, Dapo Williams has this character and he has a very luminous aura that captures you. He cannot enter a place without you noticing that he's there. You know, he's one of those that have radiation around him. It will attract you. You know, there's no how he comes in here and you will not notice him. But I'm on a quieter side. So we sort of blended because he is very public facing. I'm not.
Right.
You see.
You won't call yourself an introvert, tell you.
Not really. But you know, we just blended and you know, we complimented each other. It was a compliment.
Now tell me the timeline. Well, the friendship just started and you kick-started it and it went out of, And could you remember some milestones in your relationship that you find difficult to forget now that he's left you here and it's gone to eternity?
Yes, quite a few. I mean, as close as we were, we had our moments. And that's to do with the fact that we're all human. I have my faults, which I'm battling with. And he had this belief that he wants to please everybody. So he was constantly running under pressure because he does not want anyone being displeased.
You still use the present for him. It's like
yes,
you believe.
I hope I wake up one day and I will be told that he didn't die. You see, I must say this, Prince, that it is very hard for me to sit here and talk about my friend, my brother, and address him as worse. I still find it unbelievable. It's very deep for me that a person that said to you, okay, we'll see later in the evening.
And that was it.
And that was it. Even more touching was that we spoke on Friday about 3 times. Then when I was in his house on Saturday, we spoke on Sunday about 3 times. And then Monday morning at 11 o'clock, he called me.
On the 3rd of August.
On August 3rd, on the 3rd of August, 11 o'clock, we had a chat. And he said, Chief, let me go and do my Zoom conference. When I'm done in the evening, I will stop by at yours and we'll have a rendezvous.
Wow. So you were there that weekend with him to celebrate the Muslim
the Leah festival. We had,
in his residence,
in his house. Yes.
And there was nothing wrong with him there.
He was perfect.
Full of life as
usual.
Full
of life as usual. Crack jokes. It was okay.
And the Sunday you spoke with him.
Oh yes, Sunday it was fine. On Monday I spoke on. It was okay.
The morning of the Monday morning.
Oh yes, that it was okay, and he was even talking about other things, and we had good chat. No indication, nothing. And he said to me, don't worry, when I'm done from here, I will stop by and we'll have a rendezvous. And interestingly, Prince, on Saturday, he went to his room, came back and brought his phone speaker box and said, Chief, look at this thing. And I said, oh, it's nice. He said, no, you must take it.
Wow.
And I said, but why is yours? Why are you giving it to me? He said, you like gadgets. This gadget, you will love it. Take it, you must take it. He more or less forced that
on you
thing on me, and I took it.
The last present you got.
Only if I knew he was giving me a parting gift,
oh, yeah.
I would have embraced him more than I did. I just thought, okay, I'll have it. But Lord knows best.
Now, he left home on Monday. Lead us into it.
He went to his office.
This was on the 3rd of August.
Yes, on the 3rd.
One of his many offices, I understand.
Yes, because he has a few sites that he covers, and because he was a workaholic. He works very hard and he has passion for what he does, Being an architect, civil engineer, surveyor, he's what I would call 7-man box. He was into the profession, was a surveyor, a KOS, a valuer, architect, and all that. And so the premises knew that he could do everything together. So he constantly goes around various sites. So when his wife reported that he hasn't returned from work.
On that Monday.
Well, I think she waited until the next day and
called him.
and she didn't want to alarm us, I think. To alert us, sorry. So on Tuesday she was worried, but she thought that okay, maybe something happened. Maybe he went to one of his sites out of town and his phone got stolen or
they
phone
couldn't
is
get
bad.
he couldn't
They
she couldn't get
reach.
him.
So the belief was that, oh yeah, he will come back. So, but Wednesday morning, when the wife did not hear from him, she called and said, yes, she called me in the morning that he has not returned, and this is very, very bizarre. So I jumped in my car and I said to her, madam, don't worry, you can't use the alone. Let me come straight to you. I went to about a couple of his sites. As fate will have it, his official vehicle, he wasn't having that on that day.
Right.
So over the weekend, he had dropped his usual official vehicle for service.
Right.
So this is very, very bizarre. Now, the service company gave him a courtesy car.
Yeah, the courtesy. Oh dear, so you couldn't even
So
look at
we
the car.
didn't even know
Oh.
that was his car at first.
You saw the car when you went to one of the locations.
Yes, we saw the car at location. But luckily, the brilliant daughter of his, Wemi, said, hang on, mommy, this was the car that he used yesterday. That she knows this vehicle, that this was the car he came home with late last night. So that was how we knew that brown truck happened to be the car he used, So,
this was on the Tuesday.
no, this was on the Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
The
Tuesday one was futile. You couldn't.
Yes.
get
So
it.
that was on Wednesday. And the wife was very concerned. And she knew that something was going wrong, definitely.
The phone was dead there.
The phone was dead, we couldn't reach him. And the wife now said, you know what? Let's start phoning the premises and see how we can locate him. But we all thought, no, he can't be here. Maybe the car has broken down or we thought of many things. Would he have traveled? Would it be that he had an official engagement somewhere and didn't want to tell us, or something went wrong? So we didn't know. But daughter kept saying that, supposing he has slumped in this building. We said, no, he couldn't have been. He was in good health. He had not issue, nothing was okay. But that led us onto Thursday, and the police were actually called.
When did you call the police? On the Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday evening.
Right.
But police did not attend until the following Thursday. They now went round, looked everywhere, and said, well, there's no suspicion or anything. We should just wait as an adult that he will come back. Which was the hope we all had. And on Friday, the wife was already putting her hair out. It was crazy. The daughter was all concerned. And I said, okay, you know what? Let's put some more pressure on the police. The wife was on the phone to the police several times that, look, my husband is missing. You've got to do something. The police at times, they want to adopt last mile approach to things.
Yes.
And they say, okay, you know what, we'll put him on missing persons list, we'll do this, we'll do that. So Friday evening, the wife just couldn't take it. And I said to her, I was calming her down, but I was worried. And I said, you know what? This night, the police must attend. They must find a way to break into this facility. It's a very high-profile environment where his site was. And You couldn't get access. All workers on holidays, nobody was around. And the few workers that were around did not recognize that truck belonged to him.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, the security guards had called the towing people to come and ticket that vehicle.
Abandoned.
That there's an abandoned vehicle here.
Oh, dear.
Because no one knew that vehicle was his.
Where was he within the premises?
He was actually parked.
No, the Dapo himself. Where was he in the premises that they couldn't locate him?
You see, because he was in charge of the whole facilities for the building.
Huge facilities.
Yes, it could be anywhere. And from the accounts of the police and the evidence from the cameras, he came in that morning and he did some work around. They were installing some IT equipment on the ground floor. And he walked around with them, did all that with them and all that. And so he was everywhere at first. He later on went to the library,
right,
to do this Zoom conference.
Oh yeah, I understand. He had a Zoom conference with some other people all over the world.
Yes.
On that day between 12 and 3 p.m.
Yes, because the typical of him, he wanted to still carry on with the community activities that he was known to be doing. He had finished his job downstairs. He then came to the first floor where the library was. Like, okay, let me do the Zoom conference
here rather than go home and
No, I mean, you could have done it at home, but he just thought that, well, it's 12 o'clock, let me just do it here.
Oh, right, okay.
And he called me 11 o'clock before he went upstairs
to the library.
Because the footage shows that he went to the library at around 12:05.
Or the closed circuit television.
Yes, from this.
Oh, you had clips from that.
Yeah, we were told. Yeah, that he actually went up
into the library.
To the library.
No CCTV in the library.
No, not in the library itself.
Oh, I see. But the
on
landing
the corridor.
and corridors.
Yes.
Okay.
So because he had this community spirit and he wanted to still do the conference and everything. So on Saturday, the police they had no choice now because of the pressure that the wife, the daughter, myself, and the brother, all of us were putting on the police. They went in there on Saturday morning to forcefully gain access with the authorities of the building. And sadly, so
you found him in there. He was dead.
Yes, he must have died during the Zoom conference because nobody could reach him from Monday afternoon.
So when you said he must have died during the Zoom conference, did he do the Zoom conference? He started the Zoom conference.
Oh yes, he actually spoke. He gave a good introductory speech, which is all over. He made a speech, spoke well, and up to about 12:54, it was live on the Zoom conference.
The Zoom conference started about 12 noon.
Yes, about 12.
He had his own first one, the introduction, at about 12:54, one-ish.
Yeah. Yes, on about 2-ish, he was now asked to give a closing.
To recap or just conclusion.
Conclusion on the conference. And that was when he didn't respond. There was no response. So, I mean, we're only theorizing what we think happened. But nobody was there. He was alone. And because the school they were actually on holidays. So nobody was there. The library, he was the only one in the library.
Right. So you couldn't put a specific time on it?
No one can.
You could say that Dapo passed on that Wednesday, on that Monday, 3rd of August.
Oh yes, most certainly. Most certainly.
And
Because
then you were able to see his corpse on Saturday, so 5-6 days after.
yes, 5 days, yes. I mean, all efforts were made to find him earlier, but no one knew that he was there. And because even the authorities of the school would have found him, but no one actually knew that that vehicle was his. You see, so
that's what happened. I'm sorry about this, Chief Wale Kalejaiye. Viewers, on in the studio with a very close ally, very close friend. They've become like twins during the lifetime of both of them. Chief Wale Kalejaiye here, Otunba Wale Kalejaiye. He's just already told us what he believed happened and how Otunba Dapo Williams passed on. I'll see you on the other side of this program. Welcome back. It's still on the life and times of the late Otunba Dr. Oladapo Oshun-Williams. And with me, I have Otunba Wale Kalejaiye, a very, 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 I use 3 very's, close friend, what we call 5 and 6 of the late Chief Oladapo Williams. Chief Kalejaiye.
yes, sir.
What went through your mind when you eventually found your friend dead?
I was in denial. A million things went through my mind, but because of my spiritual orientation, I've come to realize that when the cycle of earth life closes and the curtain is drawn, the bell rings, and the owner of this soul asks for it and says, "My child, it's time to come back and begin another phase." Despite all my what I thought was my understanding of creation and life and death and all that, I still did not believe that he was dead. I thought I was having a very bad dream, and that I wake up in the following morning and I realized that I was dreaming. So I did not realize it was actually happening until when the coroner came and they packed him up and wheeled him into a van. It was deeply emotional. And the wife was asking me, I remembered that, where are they taking him to? Because she didn't believe it either. She still believed that he was going to wake up. And the doctor everybody was thinking that, oh no, this is just a dream. It is just now that I am able to talk about this because it seems real that indeed DW has actually laid aside his physical cloak.
DW?
Yes, DW. That is
right.
I fondly
Call him
Call him.
Dapo Williams.
Yes. It's reality now.
So sorry to hear this, Chief Wale Kalejaiye. What would you remember if they talk Dapo Williams or DW? What comes straight to your mind about him?
Not just one thing, many things.
Go on.
He was someone that would cheerfully give anything he had, and he would share. He just has this big aura that he wants to make everybody around him happy, even to his discomfort at times, because he was an epitome of generosity. He always wanted people happy. So when we are grieving about his death, we should be mindful that this man would have wanted us to remember him,
Celebrate him
and be happy. It's hard to say this, but he's not someone that ever had any sadness in his life. He was always a happy person, jolly good fellow. So he was a benevolent giver, and he had this community and service belief that I want to give all in service. And that's why he belongs to so many associations and groups. Because he believed in service.
Selflessness,
that is the word I'm looking for.
Wanting to just
give himself,
everybody every time.
Yes.
That's what people have said as well.
It was so selfless. So selfless that you begin to wonder, what time do you have for yourself?
That was the question that I raised to one of these people I've interviewed, that probably when he went to that premises and he wanted to do the webinar, he knew there was something all right about him, that he wasn't very well, because I understand that, I saw the clips myself. He was holding on to his chest. Maybe he was having some trouble breathing or angina or whatever they call it. So, but he wanted to serve his community, that I couldn't fail them now.
Yes.
Probably.
It's possible nobody was there, but he gave everything.
Wow.
And that is the pain in my heart, that he eventually gave everything for service. He has given his life for service, and I do hope that his memoirs will be remembered and he will not be forgotten, because if he was here when one of our friends passed on, Professor Adesomi.
Oh, the one that died in the plane crash, the faithful.
Yes. He organized a lot of the events and was so involved. And he kept saying this, that his memories, what he stood for, must continue. And he set up a lot of foundation about him. So maybe he was saying something to us with that invocation. I don't know.
A good example as well to buttress your point was the guy Omooba Lanre Dr. Adesina, African Development Bank.
Yes.
He left a Twitter message which was passed on to our studios here, that he never met him, but he fought really tooth and nail for him to retain his office.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's Dapo.
That's him. Without knowing the guy, no benefit, no ulterior motive, but to stand for the truth and stay with what is right, he would do anything for us.
Even the president sent a condolence message to the family, and I read, it says that he was passionate about our country, deeply committed to a Nigeria that attains a position in the Committee of Nations. It's sad to lose such a hopeful, a brilliant soul so soon, President Buhari says. Is this a true picture of Dapo?
Oh, yes. I mean, he is one of the leaders in the community and a true hero that our government never had in Nigeria. Because he would have been a true vanguard for service in Nigerian government.
An ambassador for Nigeria.
Yes, he is eminently qualified for any official position or anything because he meant service.
Wow.
For some of us that related to him on a daily basis and knew what he stood for. You know, I mean, I know the efforts he's putting into this government, you know, especially with the Nigeria think tank and other associations, you know, even socially.
He was the pioneer chairman of the Nigerian think tank group, which you founded. You initiated that group, the Nigerian think tank group, worldwide.
Well, thankfully
he was the pioneer chairman.
He was a pioneer chairman,
yeah.
And he did everything not to be chairman, but we actually more or less imposed on him.
Wow.
That look, for all your efforts, all you have been doing, you are the right person to lead the group. And he led it.
He led it well.
Very, very well until he left, and he was invested as a trustee.
Right. Yes.
Of that group when he was after he had served as chairman for
many years.
2 years or more.
Yeah. Right. And then you had a cocktail in his honor when he was made the member board of trustees.
Oh, yes.
7th of February.
This year.
Yeah. It was like one of the parting.
I think that was one of his
occasions.
last public appearances because post-COVID it didn't go anywhere. Nobody could go anywhere.
Yeah, I was honored to be at the Nigerian Diaspora 2020 at the Nigerian Commission in London.
Okay,
he was there.
Oh yeah, that was the last.
Let's watch that clip.
Okay.
Dapo Williams.
Yes, that's it.
Do you have a message for his family?
Well, what I would say about my friend, my brother, my paddy, is the only one that I can turn up at his door anytime and I say, you know what, get dressed, we're going to this place, and we just go. Also, he will come to me without any notice and say, you know what, get ready, we are off to this or that.
And your wives won't complain. His wife would not complain. Your wife won't say
In
anything.
fact, the two wives thought that we were married. So they've left us.
Oh dear.
They've left us.
No.
I'm sitting here in very deep pain, with deep pain in my heart, and only pray that Almighty God in His mercy will make his soul awake and let him join higher service in the realm of glory. And I want to enjoin the family to take solace in the fact that he has done his bit and he has completed his mission here at this time. And Almighty God, the Creator, will align helpers to help him as he makes his journey into the realm where he came from. He had a good heart, and with that, I know that Almighty in His mercy will grant him help.
Thank you. I need to cut this now. I need to cut it. We'll come back. We'll come back to you.
They went through some few things, God knows best. That's what I'm saying. Wale, you've done a man.
Tell the public what it's all about and how it really happened. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, viewers, it's like we're putting Otunba Wale Kalejaiye through torture here, but he has volunteered. We've spoken after we, cut, that he would like to just say a little bit more about his friend, his twin brother. Chief Wale Kalejaiye.
Yes.
What plans? I understand there are many plans that you have initiated. Are you happy to let the cat out of the bag for us now about some of those plans?
Well, the main thing for me is I would also enjoy others who may have such thoughts, because this man, is just too big to pass on, and we do not engrain his name in sand. And as such, I know what it would like is for us, his friends, associates, families, colleagues, and all that, to constantly remember him for what he stood for. And that is service, charity, and all that. So I have been liaising with a lot of other close associates of his, and of course with the family, the wife and also the daughter, that look, it would be nice to institute an annual lecture called Dapo Williams lecture once a year because it was an academia, So we're going to find a university or a school anywhere in London, wherever, even Nigeria, anywhere that will house that annual lecture. We're going to have that lecture there in his memory.
Okay.
We get eloquent speakers to speak on other topics, not about him now, but the legacies that he left, how society will get better and things like that. So one of such that we are planning is to have his annual memorial lecture.
Okay.
That's one. And it will be desirable to institute a foundation. And let's
Being
see
a philanthropist himself.
being a philanthropist himself. And he liked that there's no charity that approaches him that he will not support. Even if for instance, I got phone calls from Ijaw communities.
Wow. So he wasn't limited to the
No, he
Yoruba
wasn't.
community.
No. This guy had a global presence. Anything to do with others, he will give himself to it. So we can have like a foundation or a trust and carefully select men and women of impeccable characters as trustees.
Okay.
And we begin to start a trust in his honor. And that trust will eventually run as his charity. He had made some promises to people, and I will like those promises redeemed.
A good example is where you went. You went to Arigidi.
Yes, when he was being recognized as a chief in Arigidi, I was there with him, and in fact, for this year, I am picking up the bill for his promise this year. So I've told the people there that in his name,
the Zaki of Arigidi.
exactly, that in his name,
Right.
we are still going to do
Those
what he
things he
promised
promised,
to do.
even at his death.
Yes, he did for last year.
Wow.
For this year, I am going to do that. And subsequently, the foundation, if the trustees agree, I will lay the plans to them and let them see how the trustees can carry on with these plans. And let's even start a foundation for a Nigerian prominent heir. You see, when people have done well in society, we should not just do a party
And
burial
forget,
and forget. We should have constant memorial that will serve as what's the word? To encourage others coming behind. That look, do something good so that you can be celebrated even after you have gone. Like a role model, yes.
Yes,
role model.
like a role model
Yes,
for others.
yes.
Yeah. Right. You've given a message, condolence message to the whole family. I mean, the brothers and sister or
Sisters, yes, sister.
that is left behind. I understand he has a senior brother as well.
Oh yes, that's your brothers.
Yeah, senior brothers.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now about the wife and the daughter. I know you've been very close to the family.
Oh yes.
And what do you think you can do to let them accept what they cannot change? That look, this is reality. Have you got a message for Justina? Have you got one for Wenimo?
Oh yes. Yeah.
The Yefiwa Boye.
Yes. I must commend her. She has been very strong all through this process. I mean, we've been going around looking for him from day one.
Wow.
So she has been very, very strong, and even me as a man, I'm not sure if I would have actually been stronger than she was. She was very strong, and she has held the home front with support of her very close friends as well. My message to you is Yeye Williams, the Lord Almighty will be with you, guide you, and fill the gap that your husband has left. Like I said, when I was with you a few days ago, I made a song and I said, through the love of Almighty God, all will be well.
And to Wemimo?
Wemi, she's not a kid anymore, but she's also very strong, and she has also been there all along, and I'm sure it is now that she realizes that it is true my dad has actually gone. But your dad has not gone. We are all here.
Your dad is to her.
Your dad is to you. We'll be there, and the Lord will strengthen you. Know that you were daughter to a great man, a man that is worthy of being your father, and that was what your father was.
Thank you very much. You've been listening to a very great Otunba Wale Kalejaiye, a very close friend of the late Otunba Dr. Oladapo Oshun-Williams. Wale Kalejaiye, we thank you very much at this very, very trying moment that you've given us such time to be here with us. Thank you very much. As usual, we just no. Thank you for watching. I'm Prince Lanre Adegun, who you call Kabiesi. Until next time, keeping safe.
Thank you.